Oh, that was one time when I went to pick my friend up over Fulham before a football game, and we was coming along the Fulham Road and the van just pulled straight out, didn't look at all. I slammed on my brakes. Lucky enough, he didn't hit me. But I caught up with him at the next set of lights. So I got out of the car and had me ever faithful crook lock in my hand. I was threatening the bloke and he screamed a load of obscenities back at me. I ended up whacking his windscreen. Then through the window of the car and grabbed him round the throat. And he actually drove off with me, still had his hands around his throat.
Here in the 1990s, more than 22 million cars compete for space on our roads. Motoring organisations say that 9 out of 10 of those people have experienced aggression while driving. 6 out of 10 confess to being the troublemakers themselves. Those audacious drivers who cannot control their temper behind the wheel. What you're about to hear are the true accounts from victims on road rages, as they hold no barriers in telling us of their audacious experiences. Question 1 has to be, is the majority of road trouble caused by young males?
Most young males who drive are aggressive. They have a lot of testosterone floating around their system, which makes them be more aggressive. But you shouldn't run away with the idea that it's only young males. Women are becoming increasingly aggressive behind the wheel. We're seeing more and more cases where women drivers are using the car as a weapon.
So what is it that turns a beautiful young lady driver into a road rager?
When I'm upset, I turn from a person like I am now to somebody who just screams, yells, swears, shouts, and I get so tense that sometimes I get out of the car and have a go at them. And it always seems to be people in red cars. I don't know why.
Because red cars don't like you. All right, now shut up and tell us your story.
It happened once in London when I was pulling into a pub car park. It was a very tight space for me to turn into, and this chappie who had a BMW, not that there's anything wrong with BMWs, but he had a BMW car and he just drove straight in while I was manipulating my car to get into the spot. And I got out of the car and I stood there with my hands on my hips and I said, what the effing hell do you think you're doing? Couldn't you see that I was trying to get my car into that spot? And you just drove straight in. Haven't you got any manners? Haven't you got the manners to match your car? Can't you see my B indicator, you stupid effing B? And he sort of looked at me as if to say, sorry. And he did. He actually got out in his car and he drove away. For about half an hour afterwards, I'm thinking, and my heart's going and I'm shaking with temper and all sorts of things. Because some poor bloke just took my car parking space. Sad.
A normal woman turned into a psychotic maniac. What about you, sir?
Well, my biggest gripe is overtaking. People seem to think that you shouldn't overtake. Now, the highway code definitely says you should give way to overtaking vehicles. But when somebody pulls out in front of me and holds me up, I go bananas. Some of the families seem to think that I'm impatient. Well, perhaps I am a bit impatient. But the reason I'm impatient is...
hold on a minute. You're a maniac, mate.
If you're following somebody who's dawdling along, or a heavy vehicle, the sooner you get past it, the less hold-ups you're going to have. So it's not impatience, it's just it all builds up.
Hey, you are listening to the Mart Thomas Saturday Party, live behind the wires of the 999 Sound Shop. Elaine, thank you very much for popping in. Great to see you again. Listen, I'll see you again perhaps on the Friday night party sometime.
Friday
all right,
night, yeah.
Okay, see you then, all right?
Yeah, bye.
Now we're getting on to something different, road rage. Yes, if you have just joined us, we're talking about road rage, losing your temper behind the wheel. Can you handle it when someone really winds you up on the road? Well, if you can't, then you are a road rager. We're going to hear from some of the experiences some of the victims of road rage have experienced themselves, and here's one of them now.
I was coming back from my friend's house in Southend, and as I was going down the Southend Road,
about halfway back to London, there was a car sitting behind me. Right, that must have only been about 6 foot from the arse, and he was flashing to get me out of the way. I was doing over the speed limit anyway, just not a lot, but enough over the speed limit, and I thought, I pulled in, and as he went past, he gave me the fingers and calling me a wanker and all that lot. So I thought, who do you think you are? So I went back out in the outside lane and sat up his arse for like a few miles, but he did have one of those zooped up fast cars, which he got away from me. And as we started getting towards London, the traffic built up more. So I caught him up and gave him some abuse, and he pulled into a lay-by. So I pulled in behind him. So I thought, right, and he got out of his car, so I thought, oh, fair enough. So I got off my bike, he started walking towards me, I took my crash helmet off, and at the time I had like a grade 1 crop. I had 14 old Dr. Martens on at the time as well, and like just a t-shirt with my tattoo showing, I think that's what scared him. And as I walked towards him, he sort of realised what he was coming up against and said sorry 4 or 5 times, jumped back in his car and like sped off.
Hello.
What? It's your mother here again.
Oh, hi, Mum.
I just had your socks in the bloody microwave.
Look, Mum, please. I didn't put my socks in the microwave.
Well, the socks were jumped in the microwave themselves then.
Oh, Mother, please, don't get upset.
Upset?
Yes.
Upset?
Oh, look, calm down, will you? Calm down.
Calm down? Yes. Calm down.
Please, Mother, I'm trying to do my show.
I'm coming round there.
What? Mother, you can't come. Mother? Hey, hello? Uh-oh. It's happening all over the country, road rage, people are getting angry, beating one another up, but it's not just cars we're talking about here. We are also talking about the most audacious form of transport there is. Yes, motorcycles.
If they're not using their mirrors, what's the point in having them on their cars? So I hit them. It's plain and simple. I just hit them. If I brake them, I brake them.
People seem to want to get around and no one should stand in their way. The whole point of having wheels with a motor is to get around fast and speedily. So what happened?
I was going towards Shaftesbury Avenue and he cut across my path, going into my lane, just missing me, and I got angry and I banged his mirror and I got off my bike, I went up to his car, I said, don't do that again, you know, because it's pretty dangerous, just missed me there, and he ran into my bike, knocked it over, smashed me clocks, and I tried to stop him from driving away, and he ran me over. Plain and simple, he just ran me over.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any limits to what people will go to exert their anger. If they are angry, then they get out and do something about it. And believe me, they have the weapon to use as well. 1, 2, 3 tons of hunk metal. They can use it and they can cause some damage. We'll be hearing about some damage that has been caused later on in the programme. But what about young ladies who drive fast and cosy, rich-looking Rolls Royces?
Because I drive a Rolls Royce, I have had instances where I've been stopped at traffic lights and you'll get a group of, I will not call them young gentlemen, but young men, and they've actually sort of spit at the windscreen. Again, another incident at a traffic lights, a group of boys held a housebreak. I think possibly the problem with people who want to overtake you and have this aggressive attitude towards you is that it enrages them and it threatens their masculinity. They've got to get past you, they've got to be better, they've got to be quicker, they have to prove a point. I am a male and I am the most dominant of species and I will get past this woman in this Rolls Royce. It's a little bit like little boys with toys. They must have the best and the biggest, and maybe when they were little they didn't have dinky toys, I don't know.